Hey, this is part two, Michelle Ramon, and if you could like and share and subscribe or whatever, like, well, you guys are already subscribed, but some of you are. If you could like and share these two videos that I'm doing, hopefully this one doesn't get cut off. Okay, so the illegal activity that they did was, first of all, I was a client. Okay, I'm just a client of the parenting classes. That's it. Um, they didn't have anything on me to say I'm a bad parent, so they tried to like over dramatize everything, and they tried to like send the police to inspect my kids without my consent. They might have had the dad's consent or whatever. He might have wanted a well child checkup, which is fine. But he didn't even have guardianship of them, and he wasn't in the state. But then when the worker said, "Can I talk to your kids at the school about the how she bumped into my boyfriend playing a video game?" and everything was fine, she was at school and well, there was nothing going on. She bumped into him in her nose. She has a sensitive nose and it bled a little bit, but it was also because the medical facility didn't want to give her ADHD medicine. And I told them, if my daughter gets hurt or something because you don't want to give her medicine, then I'm going to sue you. And right now, I can sue Talia Casillas for failure to protect my child because she didn't tell the police when they tried to force meds on my daughter, and she had a relationship with them. Any therapist that has a relationship with your child, if they don't report to the police if someone injured your child, and they did child endangerment on my child when they tried to force her on a 5150 hold, when the sheriff exam proved that she was healthy and happy at home. So these people are dirty off the Richter scale. The therapy offices are dirty. And I uncovered that Chamberlain's mental health care, where I tried to take my kids the second time for therapy, is in bed with the court workers. Because I was just sitting there one day and I was talking to this girl and she was a child care worker. And all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, yeah, I got a CPS case too." And it's just like, how come everybody in this county has like some kind of CPS case? I was like, this is weird. So, I was talking to her casually and she had taken her kid to that therapy place. And then I'm just like thinking, this is so weird. So I looked up Chamberlain's mental health care, and they used to be an orphanage. So I thought, this is something weird about this. Like that these people would write a letter about my kids being out of control in the office when the social workers were the ones that made them like that. They gave them emotional disturbances. Because I'm a childcare worker, I know all the lingo. My kids were fine. They were fully potty trained. They never wet themselves or anything until this county kidnapped them for the weekend. And when I got my kids back, they were screaming. They were wetting the bed. It was just like a nightmare. And I had to like quit my job and start scrubbing beds and cleaning after my kids like extra. And they tried to barge in on me on a Friday. And when you have kids, your house is not clean on a Friday. And I was just like, I had just did a thing of laundry. I put it down because I was getting ready to clean for the weekend because I clean on the weekends. And they came over like bright and early, tried to barge into my house, like, "So where's your boyfriend at?" and all this stuff. Because I told him, "Well, the police are coming." He was like, "The police?" He goes, and one time he goes, "Michelle," he yelled at me. Like the whole thing was a big drama thing. Like if it would have been recorded from all the scenes and everything that they did to us, like, and then Blake is like, "Michelle," he was like, "What?" He goes, "I wish you wouldn't have signed up for that parenting class." I go, "Why? It's just a parenting class. What is the big deal?" He was like, "You don't know how this county is." He goes, I was just like, "What?" He goes, "They've had my friend's kids for 2 years." Like, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is weird." Like, I didn't know what he was talking about, that they just go around kidnapping people's kids. So it's just like really bizarre. So you're just like in the Twilight Zone. You're just like, do 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 do. You're just like, and I was just like, I was even telling my mom, I was like, "Well, when I get out of Attica, everything will be okay." They literally put you in Attica, these people, and you're just like, you're not even doing anything wrong. Like you're just like raising your kids. Like it's like, leave me the f alone. And I even called my mom one time. I was like, "Mom, they are so irritating. These people come over with like 3 or 4 workers against me, and then try to make up stuff on you too." The lady knew she was lying too. She was like stuttering. She's like, somebody said that you put your kid in a church daycare." I was like, "No, she didn't want to go after she got kidnapped. She was scared to leave my side because you guys kidnapped them for the weekend, so they were scared." Like, what the hell? You're going to traumatize my kids and then blame it on me? And then they gave my kids all these emotional disturbances. And I was just like, oh my God, like my kids are not the same anymore. And then when they got PTSD, Desiree was throwing things on a visit. She had a special visit at my house, at my apartment. And I had to call 911. I was like, can you document this? Because they gave my kid PTSD and she's throwing things and wetting herself. And she was fully potty trained when she came to town. So I just want to put this county on blast because they have evil social workers. They tried to force my daughter on a 5150 hold and give her meds without my consent, without her doctor's consent. She wasn't on meds. That was just a special ed student. I go, why are you forcing meds on my daughter? That's just a special ed student, and the other ones take meds. I was like, and they're taking their meds, so it's not neglect. And I said, so why are you doing this to her? She called crying from a hospital bed to call the police. And she said something happened to her breathing. Like they're trying to literally kill my daughter over some money that they get for putting your kid in a hospital bed. For monetary gain, they're trying to kill a kid. So can you guys please put this on blast? Like share it with every news station you know and just like share it, share it, share it, share it. Because I want these workers in federal penitentiary 8 years or more of their life like they took away from me and my children. And they mentally damaged me. They mentally damaged my kids. We were having nightmares, blood curdling nightmares. Like we're waking up and we're actually crying in our sleep. And both of my kids had the same trauma. That's trauma. And do you know a kid could actually go blind from trauma? Like whatever they did to my kids when they were gone for the weekend, they came back screaming and terrified. And they were, when they were little, I was a victim of domestic violence, and they took my kids and gave them to my sister for a while. But when they came back, they had mental illness and had separation anxiety and they had all kinds of things going on. And Desiree was diagnosed with her mental illness, even though they're babies. Babies can have mental illness. And so and that was because they took them when they were like little, and they get this separation anxiety, kind of like when you adopt a child out, they are forever heartbroken because they bond with the mother, and then they separate them, and it really literally breaks both the mother and the child's heart because they don't know what's going on. They're bonding with their mother for like 9 months, and then all of a sudden you just viciously rip them. And then they opened up that wound by taking them away from me, and they were like injuring my kids, like medically injuring them. So I just want this video to go viral, and let's try to take these social workers down. Priscilla Mojica, Madeline Lee, Carmen, one of them was name was Carmen, Talia Casillas, and there's dirty judges that work with the therapy offices and they get paid. It's all racketeering. They get paid. So Chamberlain's Mental Health Care, when the court workers don't have enough cases, they try to get them to like victimize the people that are getting their kids therapy. They're good moms. They want their kid to have therapy. So please let this go viral. It's about to cut off. If it cuts off, please let this go viral. And we need to nail Santa Clara County social workers and put them in federal penitentiary.